of a world where existence was believed to be a gift of God. Beliefs defined and created forms. We worshipped without asking questions, because astha, belief, is a feeling, an emotion, an expression and symbol of the presence of supernatural powers. These physical depictions are merely an extension of our faith. Actually, the complexity of life is not that simple. What you see is truth, but what you believe is merely an assumption of truth. The stories and myths around these gods are accepted as moral codes. One cannot accept what is followed by masses. One searches for answers beyond the words, practices and rituals. When you are alone, pondering over the sequences that shaped your life, questions come and stand in front of you, forcing you to find answers. Human nature is always prone to seek new things in life, understand mysteries, the quest for deeper knowledge. Understanding the true essence of myths and gods is so essential in our society today.
Actually, about 5-6 years ago, after 3-4 years of my retirement, there was a desire to know our past. I thought that I must acquaint myself with our own tradition. And I first of all started the Valmiki Ramayana. Now, Valmiki Ramayana today is about 25,000 shlokas. This was a kind of a discovery. I found some glimpses of the original story, but also I found that there is heavy overload of later writing, and I realized that the extent Valmiki has been heavily interpolated. So I thought that I should write a story in English blank verse, and I chose an 8-syllabic line. Shakespeare chose a 10-syllabic line, but here Valmiki, he had written an 8-syllabic in 8 akshar. All his poetry are in 4 padas of 8 akshar each. So that is the shlok he invented. So I also decided to, select an 8-syllabic line for my purpose. Maybe it had a historical origin, and so many researchers, they testify, even archaeological findings, they testified that there was some kernel of truth about the story. But it has been totally supplanted by mythology and miraculous happenings. So I thought that I must recreate Ramayana in a story which will appeal to a modern reader. It is possible to believe in the historicity of Ram. After all, he is our biggest hero. And so to say that he is not a mere figment of imagination. He was born in Ayodhya, and this is all, all facts. Ram is, in any case, the character itself is so great. I don't know whether in the entire world literature there is any character who is so powerful, so steadfast, so, full of righteousness as Ram. So he doesn't need any props of religion. His greatness is, to my mind, re-established by my book. Like Hanuman, I certainly feel that he was not a monkey. And they were Vanar tribes who, for establishing the identity of their tribe, they used to, dress like a monkey and even sport a tail. Hanuman, the kind of polished speech which he uses in Valmiki Ramayana, that establishes that he was a learned man. Similarly, Shurpankha is taken to be a very ferocious kind of a Rakshas girl. who could change her form and she could devour Sita perhaps. Shurpankhah was again a tribal girl and maybe very pretty, and I have depicted her in that light.
In fact, the entire effort would have proved futile if it was not supported by appropriate visual depiction.
One distinguishing feature of my book are the paintings of Vandana.
When Papa was writing this book, Ramayana, we would sit with him and he would actually narrate a few scenes which he had written. So they would conjure up images in my mind, and then we were also thinking in terms of illustration, that what kind of illustration should go with a modern rendering of Ramayana.
I couldn't have selected, the traditional paintings which show 10 heads to Ravan and which show Hanuman as a monkey. She took upon herself to interpret Ramayan like I have done, and based on my reading, she has interpreted those events through her paintings, and there are about 65 paintings which will go along with this book.
And Ramayana is something which I think is in everybody's mind, and everybody imagines it, when one reads it. So it is so difficult to come up with a kind of a frame or colors, and thematically it should not change throughout the book, because a book should have one kind of rendering in terms of illustration. So I started very tentatively, but I think Papa had full faith in me and he said that you should go ahead. The spiritual character of the paintings changes until the last, when I have shown Ram and Sita, giving up their bodies. It actually, that they are the culmination of that, spiritual journey which I had.
The painting depicts the soul of Ramayan in truly modern style. It blends beautifully with the approach adopted in the book. Ram not as a god, but as one of the greatest heroes in our history.